Good now. All right. Sorry about that.
I'm not used to seeing you on camera like this.
Yeah, I look like a.
Well, you look like Brad, but you just.
That's exactly.
I think. I think last time I
Yeah.
saw you, you had a hat on though. I think you had a hat on the last time I saw
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Where's my hat? Hey everyone. I'm real Brad today because I'll discuss later why, but basically beta stuff.
Beta test.
But I wasn't expecting beta stuff to happen, so I look like, as GT said before, I look like Brad. So sorry
I
about
mean,
that, everyone.
I've got right here. I don't know how many hats I've got. Right, I can't get them off. I've got about 10 hats sitting here because of VR hair. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a
That's
permanent
okay.
problem.
There we go. Thank God. Okay, I feel less.
Oh,
I
there it
look like.
is.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. You know what's funny? I wore this hat when I went to California like a month ago, and I took one of those auto driving taxis, the Waymo. By the
Wow.
way, that was really cool, and I actually think it's really amazing to just be able to sit in the back seat wearing a headset, doing all your work in a headset while no one's driving you. Like that's freaking future moment. But
And you feel
one of the
super
times
safe. You feel super safe with the self
oh
drive.
yeah, it was honestly a smoother drive than some of the real cab
Yeah.
drivers in
Yeah.
California where they drive with no with maximum recklessness and you feel like you're gonna die sometimes. But yeah, I didn't feel it was weird the first time. I took like 4 or 5 the entire time, but it was my first time ever going in a driverless vehicle. But it was pretty I was impressed. But one of the times I went in there and they have cameras all over the interior just in case people like, I don't know, want to graffiti or screw up the seats or do terrible things that ruin uh, happiness. But I got a call automatically. It called the servers because it detected that there was maybe a minor in the vehicle. It was just because I was looking like this that it thought there was maybe someone like a kid in there that was getting a free ride or whatever.
That's
I'm
what I was
like,
gonna say.
no,
Because if no one's met you, you're actually quite tall, aren't you? You're not like a short
yeah.
person.
Yeah. So I can understand, like the ball cap and the way I have dressed during that week, why someone might think I'm I guess under 18. But the guy's like, "Is there a minor in the vehicle?" I'm like, "No, I'm 31." And oh, okay, bye.
I just moisturize a lot. No, it's all good. How are you?
Good, dude. This week has been so exciting. Like, I don't know. There's been bad and good, but like for me personally, I feel like there's been a lot of exciting news that tailor to all my interests personally. So I'm feeling really good.
Well,
How about you?
let's get. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you how you're feeling about the VR space, but I was gonna say to you as well, or mention to everyone listening, and hello everyone who has tuned in to this episode, episode 7 in my. Do you know we've been doing this nearly 6 months? I was
Yeah,
like, wow,
that is kind of crazy. Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. The last episode we spoke about where you were saying you've been to like certain game shows and stuff, or like electronic events, should I say, not game shows. You've been to electronic expos. You were seeing like tons of VR stuff from companies making tons of XR stuff. Um, and I guess for me, with what I do, and one, I'm putting out comments, but two, I'm receiving a lot of comments. It's not looking good. It's
Yeah.
a way of putting it. It's not looking good for VR. I don't want to say the sentence that people say because I don't believe it is. I don't believe that's happening. I just think it's kind of going a bit full circle to one of our first episodes, I think, or maybe the second one, where we were talking about the Great Reset. And
Oh, yeah.
I think we are now. I don't know if we're in deep to the reset, or I mean, it can't. Can it get much worse? I don't know. Like when you think of everything that's happening, and every week there's a new studio, and yeah, I was always waiting for developers to come out and say we haven't sold enough,
Right.
because when the meta
Right.
funding isn't there and the sales aren't there, at some point you got to hold your hands up and go, this hasn't worked out.
Yeah. I'm glad we kind of brought this up because obviously I was just expressing excitement about a lot of things. I think if you're like only into VR for gaming, yeah, it feels kind of like really rough right now for sure. Um, I'm kind of in it for more than just the gaming. So like when I see things happening, like you just even said, like I went to an event and I saw a lot of. I'm seeing stuff that's not just gaming only. I'm seeing like companies still building all the pieces for the future and stuff. So that kind of like gives me this natural set of optimism anyway, because I just know there's more being invested here. Even though it's just harder to find unless you're in deep. But also I literally this morning, there were people talking about how people have felt that the past few years have been like cheering on this decay of VR, where it's not like that at all. Um, it's just for me, I've kind of just felt none of this success we've had was
Real.
truly real, right? And it's not, and I think maybe because I'm not as depressed as other people who
Well, no, you're not.
maybe,
You're not. It's not just being depressed about it. It's more about you weren't ever in that lifeline anyway. You
yeah,
weren't ever sucking at the teat of VR gaming success. So, like at the end of the day, you was always just on the outside looking in. You
yeah,
know.
and I just see people misunderstanding my position there, so I want to like make it clear I'm not cheering on the decay of VR. It's not even. We talked about this many times. I don't want to go into it too far, but um, my stance is I believe in the technology. Like it will be. I hate to use the word inevitable, but I know that people one day will be using these devices, these optics and displays up to our eyes to do many more things that we normally do with just regular computing. I know it's just going to happen one day. I just don't need it to be like rushed into. I don't need it to be tomorrow. I think all the pieces to get to that time just take naturally a long time because these are we're literally like messing with the laws of physics, just doing all of these things. Every headset that's released is like the most complex consumer device out there on the market already, and that's just the best it is can get right now. Um, and I wear this freaking headset stuff every day to do everything. I'm not cheering on the decay. I just kind of have this like big picture feeling that it's going to happen one day. It just needs all the right pieces for it to get there.
So, do
So
you not
yeah.
see gaming as part of that though? As part of
I
the
see gaming
piece?
as part of it. But I just don't see like naturally. I just feel like just like with PC, I'm obviously a very PC focused user. I'm not really a console user, so maybe I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
have a little bit of a mindset there where as the PCs or the overall platform of multiple use cases grows, gaming can just live off as a subset of that, just like it does on PC. Like the idea that I mean, even Steam, like Steam was only created like what 2004 or something. That's only 20 years ago. I know it sounds a long time for some people, but 20 years is not that long. The idea that a company can just live off a store on the
Yeah.
overall PC platform, which is no one saw the point of investing or building something like that. But obviously now we know Steam and Valve are just so lucratively making big bucks that we have obviously every publisher is trying to make a launcher, not so much anymore, but we have Epic Games investing huge in it. I see VR gaming as something that will just naturally happen when the technology itself is just built as the baseline sort of thing.
So, but I just want to say to anyone who might even be new to the show, the reason that me and Brad started this because we're very different in the VR space. He he's into the tech. I do like the tech. I do like, but I'm all about the games. In and out of VR. You know, I just love games. I'm playing games all the time. Um, let's talk about Steam Frame because I know you're going to talk about Apple. I know you want to talk about Apple.
No,
I
that's
know
the
that.
last.
I
We'll do it
know
last.
this. I know this. But your recent tweets are like getting me pretty hyped. And a lot of things seem to be happening. Like it seems like we're getting close. We're getting close.
Yeah. So yeah, yesterday was exciting for sure because we had new Steam VR beta. So I got the data mine new stuff. And then right after that happened, some import records finally popped up showing that Valve in the US are finally receiving like I don't want to say huge quantities, but like basically the first wave of them stockpiling actual virtual reality devices, Steam frames here. So they are preparing to sell it pretty soon, probably earlier. Just to kind of go back, they did like kind of change their time frame. Originally it was like early 2026, and it was the first half of 2026. And the most recent post they said this summer. But I think now, based on like all the stuff we're seeing with the stability of Steam VR is getting quite incredible. I've noticed recently, um, but also the import records showing that they're receiving them and all these things. I think yeah, we're getting quite close finally.
Thank God, man. Thank God. I'm so excited for this thing. And yeah, it would be nice if it happens this month. Um, just even if it doesn't actually get shipped till is it like 28 days, I think was the controller. So it's like you buy it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was like I think maybe when they announced the controller, it was like a week after they started shipping them or something like that. But
Yeah.
they won't just like drop it and you can't like you'll have advance to be able to know when to buy it or whatever. But when the imports first came in because I was also the person that kind of pointed out the Steam controller imports as well. And the buffer between receiving the first controllers and them announcing them for sale was like 3 to 4 weeks. So I'm not saying
Oh,
you should use that as like the indicator of when Steam Frame will go on sale, but just a little interesting detail there.
yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Um, so I think, well, actually, one thing I wanted to point out, I thought all the money was on the Steam machine was happening first.
I still kind of feel that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, but
Like
would they wanna launch 2 products that close together? I mean, surely not. Surely if I was Valve, I'd be doing Steam Machine this month and then the next month Frame. I mean, but
Yeah, I don't have any inside info. I always have to say that before I give my speculation on it, but I kind of feel the same. One, because you can have a whole review period just for the Steam machine with press and everything.
yeah,
Get that out. Also, when you have the Steam store is going to crash no matter what. It's better to have it crash for only people trying to buy one product, major
yes,
product, instead of two at once.
yeah.
So between all that reasons, I don't think personally that they would, if they were smart, they wouldn't release all of them on one day.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting that the shipments are going out. Um, I'm hoping you find something for the UK. That'd be great. If you can have a little mine for me, have a look.
I'm quite sure if we're receiving imports here in USA, they're also sending them in Europe and stuff. It's just import records in the US are very quick and public, whereas other places they're not. So that's why I focus on
Should we wait
US
a minute?
records.
Let's wait a minute. Did you see your wife?
What'd you do? I don't know. Muffin, what'd you do?
Have you seen the
What? What happened?
have you seen the
Were you crawling in the background? They still can see you. Just run through. Just don't crawl like a
tell
monster.
her to own it. I need to know where we can clip that from.
Yeah, full permission. Go for it.
Oh, fucking hell. That fucking made me laugh. Um, I don't know, you were saying something, you was really smiling. I thought, "Oh, he must have seen her behind him." Oh, I don't wanna rewind that whole thing. We was talking about what was we talking about? What was we saying? We were
We just
saying
talk about the release of like we both kind of feel that
Steam
they'll
Machine's probably
probably
gonna come first.
stagger them. Yeah, stagger because they've been receiving game console imports for months now, and I still think that they were probably stockpiling them earlier on than the headset. But yeah,
Oh, you think Steam Machine's already maybe been out there?
I think possibly. Yeah. It's kinda
Oh.
see, here's the problem, and people don't know this, but, the Steam Machine, the Steam Deck, and the Steam Frame, they're all manufactured by the same company, Quanta Computer, and with Steam Deck and Steam Machine, they could all be classified in Emperor records as game consoles. It's so much easier to figure out Steam Frame because they're classified in Import records as
It's
virtual
virtual
reality
reality.
device.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, 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 cool. I was just gonna sift through your notes quickly, see what you wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Um,
no, I mean, another thing I wanna mention, just data mining Steam VR yesterday. Not too much, but, last week and this week, they've completely pushed all the, Steam controller or Steam Frame controller drivers publicly. Before, you could only get them either by an accidental push from Valve, or if you got the dev kit, they would kind of give you like a key that would unlock a depot to get those drivers so you can use the Steam Frame controllers for development. But not anymore. Everyone that has SteamVR beta installed, it's just a default directory. So all the drivers, the localization, all the render models for the Steam Frame controllers are all in there
Tutorials
now.
in there as well, isn't it? Like the opening tutorial.
Yeah, yeah, they added that to so it's kind of weird because the tutorial is actually built into Steam client itself. They did add that, I believe, last week, and someone from my Discord, one of my little data mining friends, got that working on their index, and it was funny because that wasn't completely finished yet because at the last, I think, page of that welcome tour, it had some lorem ipsum, like placeholder Latin text stuff going on there,
Yeah, yeah.
but all the stuff is just like coming together finally. A new feature that's coming that was kind of interesting to me in the last data mine is so when you launch Steam VR, generally you have two options on PC. You either launch in the Steam VR Home, which I noticed many people don't even like use Steam VR Home. It adds some low performance load. Um, so they generally turn that off, and then you are loaded into like the black by default, it's like a black area panorama where you see some aurora, purple
That's
aurora
it.
stuff.
That's what I see all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just an image or whatever. But they seem to be building a brand new sort of environment choice that they're literally calling right now Aurora. It's not the same Aurora as what you see now. It seems to be like actually like shader based, but it'll be a completely customizable animated aurora that you'll just load into. You'll have render models of stars all around you. You can change the color of the aurora. Um, Something just to be, I think, a little bit nicer, but also way more performant than Steam VR Home,
Yeah.
which I think will be pretty cool when it releases. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I used to do the environments a lot, back in the day. I used to have like not yeah, Ocarina of Time as a background and a few others. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. I just have like a retro arcade, like a 360. Um so yeah, that's cool. One other thing you mentioned here before we move on from Steam Frame was you mentioned that you're seeing many games ramping up, adding both standalone and PCVR compatibility for Frame. Bug snacks, bug snacks. Um, what have you seen? What have you learned?
Pretty much all the ones you would expect. I saw Pistol Whip added their APK this week. VR chat, probably a big one for a lot of people who are going to buy it. Even though I think most people who do VR chat are just going to play that PC streamed, not standalone, but that will be an option. Um, there's a lot of them. I don't have too many names, but I think there's like 90 standalone
Yeah, and this is for the
builds
verified
uploaded.
thing. Is that why they've done it? To like, well, as you said, these are Steam Frame versions of these games. Yeah,
The ones I'm talking about right now are the fully standalone, the ones that will run on the Qualcomm chip.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think mostly there's a big rush right now to upload them because if it is releasing, let's say in a month from now, then Valve does want many titles to go through that verification process.
Yeah,
So
of
when people
course.
actually get the headsets, they know day one what they can run standalone if they so wish. A lot
Yeah.
of those systems also are ready on the Steam side for if you are running Steam Frame connected to Steam Machine, that has its own verification program where if it runs well enough on the Steam Machine streamed to your Steam Frame, you'll have a whole badge for that. But also, just again,
Hold up, stop. So
oh yeah.
wait. So you're saying not Steam VR games? You're on about just all Steam games, or are you saying like?
So okay, let me explain.
So you're
Steam Machine,
so they already think that people are going to use Steam Machine for VR.
yeah, they already have a whole separate badge for that use case.
Oh, I haven't got the money for both, man. Jeez. I mean, how much are we talking for these? Do you
Ugh.
reckon?
I think Steam Machine is gonna be really expensive, based
It's
on
so weird
what
because
I've heard.
with Steam Frame, it's been like a steady climb of pricing. It's gone from like, I don't know, the early days of 599, um, now climbing up to 1,000. But Steam
Yeah.
Machine, I've seen go wild at like 1.5, and then some people are like spreading a rumor that it's 599. Even now today, people are like, "Oh yeah, no, it's going to be cheaper than you think." And I honestly have no idea. Like, I've got no idea.
I think it's gonna be on the expensive end personally. Just as like a kind of clarification, I, I don't know if you saw there was a memo that went out at Microsoft talking about Xbox and pricing. Uh, Basically, Microsoft is struggling. Microsoft, humongous company, is also struggling to secure RAM and storage for their Xboxes. So here, at least in the States, it's very hard to get an Xbox right now. They're just completely sold out. And it's not just because there's a huge demand all of a sudden. There might be more demand, but the supply is
Yeah.
just not there. And they're even saying that by holiday of next year, Xbox prices, or at least the component prices, are like 5 times that was Christmas last year, which is an insane number because Microsoft's generally you would think are buying way higher volumes of components for Xboxes than probably Valve is for their Steam machine set
Yeah, so
top
you think they'd be
box.
cheaper? Yeah.
Yeah, so anytime you see stuff like that, you have to remember Valve is not on the scale of these other console manufacturers, so they get even worse pricing. Which I think we didn't make a podcast about this, but Steam Deck did go up like $300 on the high end since we last made an episode, and
I mean, that's crazy. That's like,
that's
was it
crazy.
a 45% increase, I think someone said?
It was something, yeah, it was like the high end went from 600 to 900 for the 1 terabyte OLED model, and that is a big increase
And what
for
have we got to
sure.
thank for all this? AI, isn't it? Mostly?
It's all AI because all these it used to be okay for the mobile chips, but a lot of these AI GPUs they actually use those mobile chips directly on those same GPUs as well. So there's Nvidia and these hyperscalers are all buying up that, putting in those which require I don't even, like the amount of requirement that one of these AI high end server side GPUs require like up more than 500 gigabytes per GPU. So it's just crazy. I know we're not an AI podcast, but here's my feeling. I don't really want to use the frontier models. I don't want to pay to use them. I would like them to get to the point where they can run on my PC, and I kind of believe someday a lot of these models, these now expensive frontier models, will just be available to just run locally on your PC, and most people will be okay using that. So I kind of think like it has a timer in of itself where it's just like how the companies Microsoft now are deciding, okay, you can't stop, you got to stop using Claude, start helping to build our own models and use that so we can kind of make this more sustainable. I think that'll also kind of happen on the consumer AI as well,
Yeah.
even if it takes a year's basis. Because there is of course value that comes from doing this, but there's also just stupidness that's coming from it as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty, just to go back to the Xbox thing, I'm pretty pleased. I don't know if you follow the gaming stuff, but I'm really pleased that exclusives are now becoming a thing for these companies again. It was like watching PlayStation games come to PC, hearing that everything is an Xbox meant nothing was an Xbox at the same time. Like all this different stuff. And as a gamer, not just a VR gamer, I actually think this year has probably been one of the most exciting years to be into gaming. Like suddenly it's gone
yeah.
from, and this is the crazy thing to go back to VR. There was always a nice balance thing you could say. VR gaming struggling, but gaming struggling. And then suddenly it's like, hold on a minute. There is shitloads of great games coming for flat screens, and and VR is kind of like, we got games coming.
Hmm.
As I was talking about the decline or the precipice we're on of seeing the repercussions of the changes with Meta.
Yeah.
Where's it going to go? Like I kind of wonder how many dead. Like if we're hearing and feeling this stuff now, what's it going to look like next year, for example? Because games take 2-3 years to develop, sometimes more. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it's an unknown to me. I think it's an unknown to everyone. But yeah, so that's a lot of Steam frame stuff. I always think to myself, when are we going to actually talking about our hands on with this thing? Um, it'll be exciting when it does happen. Are
Yeah.
you getting both? Are you getting Steam Machine and Frame?
We'll see. I'm not decided yet.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we'll see.
undecided. I'm kind
Yeah.
of like, I mean, my bank's making the decision for me, to be honest. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so on to the Bradley part of the episode about
Oh
Vision
boy.
OS, because you love Vision OS. And I really want to get one, man. Eric, what's
Oh,
his
Hartley.
yeah, he got one finally. He's very happy with it, and I know if I had one, I'd be very happy with it because I think it's an excellent headset. It's just so fucking heavy, but
Yeah.
it's a super headset. So yeah, talk to me. What do we got to talk about today? What? Because I saw the word rant in here.
Let me pull up my notes that I wrote in that real quick on my phone. Sorry, I should have had that ready. But
I just want to say I've actually preferred talking to you in real life, and I know you're not
yeah,
gonna like that, man. Probably.
I like to have. Yeah, you know why I'm a crazy person.
I
But
just think
yeah,
it's
I
really
understand.
cool because like, I mean, I'm not saying that the Vision Pro are they avatars or personas? They're so much better than
Whatever.
anything else out there.
But they're still not there.
You
It's not
say
like
that, dude, but I can talk to you with it, and you've got
yeah.
expression, and I can see your hands do stuff. Um, but I never forget when is it John Carmack did his Oculus Connect or his like Meta Connect
Oh
thing on
man.
stage as an avatar. I couldn't watch it, man. I
Yeah,
was like,
me neither.
I love listening to this guy, but I can't look at that avatar. But yeah, sorry. Anyway,
No, no worries. Yeah, so Vision OS, I'll try not to drag on, but it was a lot of stuff. Here's the interesting if I could summarize everything, there's so much just like with VR gaming, there's a lot of people out there trying to spread doom and gloom about even Apple's Vision
right?
OS and the headset and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And, Apple's very similar to Valve in the way where like I think I mentioned this to you, but I remember all the years I spent like saying Valve's working on a new headset. They will eventually release something, blah, 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 blah. I would have people come to me in my DMs that would claim to be insiders and be like, no, Valve's done with VR. They'll never release another headset. You're being tricked. You're being fooled, whatever. Um, that kind of stuff just happens naturally. And I think a lot of times when you have insiders reporting on a lot of different things. They tend to be people who are disgruntled. Maybe they don't like VR. Maybe they're mad that resources are being pushed to that they think could be used maybe on their teams or
They
whatever.
could dislike the current CEO for all you know. They could.
It,
There's all that
it
stuff.
could be many, exactly. It could be many things, or they come in fired because they just weren't deemed like I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
just come and start trying to spill some milk a little bit. And that tends to happen more when people are whispering in your ears than people who are enjoying what they're working on. People who are enjoying their job, what they're building, what they're doing, they're not real. They're most likely not going to want to risk that by just spreading all the leaks and the rumors
Yeah.
because they're happy with it, right? So whenever I see a lot of articles that are from insider sources saying, "Yeah, Vision OS is dead. Vision Pro will never happen again," blah 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 blah. And now I'm also a user of a platform, a very dedicated user, and I'm also someone who messes with like the developer side in my like for my fun free time. And I see all these things being built, even in the smaller updates. I'm like, none of this reflects that. And that's kind of how I feel about the latest Vision OS 27. WWDC was this week. They announced the upcoming fall release of the next Vision OS, and it was just like all the other Apple stuff. Huge focus on instead of bombarding you with new features, try to make everything just work faster, better battery
Yeah.
life, all that stuff, and then sprinkle in a lot of developer stuff as well that people can do. And I can say, even though I'm clearly doing the live podcast because there was a bug with my persona where I couldn't do this call, all the stuff where I normally do, where I have a bunch of windows, widgets, and everything, runs so much more performant on my beta than it was on my previous release version.
Yeah.
But there's many also new features. There was a new environment. It's Iceland. I thought it was really funny that both Apple and Valve really are releasing Aurora environments in the
Hmm.
same year. I thought that was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
huh, it's wacky. But they also added the function where so last year, there was a really awesome feature called spatial scenes. And the idea is your entire photo roll that you take on your phone or whatever you sync to your iCloud, that can be converted into volumetric photos, Gaussian splats. I've talked about this so many times on this show. I won't go into it. They've expanded that feature for panoramas now. So if you take a very wide panorama, maybe if you're hiking in the mountains, you like to go on the top and do a nice panorama with your phone. That can now be converted into a volumetric image, and you can set those as environments, custom environments for you. So it's pretty cool. I tried a few of them. It's obviously not the fidelity of something that's fully handcrafted
Yeah.
of an environment, but depending on the resolution of the panorama, it looks quite good. And you can also do stuff like you can just download, panoramic pictures online. Maybe someone who hacked a video game like Cyberpunk can hack the camera to make a panorama picture. Then all of a sudden, your Vision OS background is like something from Cyberpunk you really like. You can just do that stuff now. Pretty neat.
Do you know what it
Um,
sounds like to me? It sounds like they're making all the things, even though there's probably not a lot of people out there with Vision OSs, obviously, in the kind of like, let's talk about, let's just say, mainstream. It sounds like they're getting all the features ready for it to be that. Because do you know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. By something, if you're just messing around, I'd love that. If my wife would absolutely love that. All the photos she takes, if I could show, she's never seen a Gaussian splat or whatever you want to call them. She's never seen that, but I reckon it'd blow her mind if she did. Um, she could see pictures of her now deceased Nan in that way.
yeah, yeah.
Stuff like that. I think is very powerful, and I think she'd absolutely love it. But we'll have to wait till they get another. I might bite the bullet on Apple. I don't know, man. I'm kind of waiting for you to go. Oh, there's a new one coming. That's what I'm waiting for. But yeah,
I think there's no rush. Again, like that's the even like obviously I'm sorry I post stuff all the time, guys, like about it, but it's just something I it's like what GT just said. It does the hardware is not mass consumer by any means, but when you see the framework being built in this operating system that will one day be in an actual consumer ready thing that people will wear, you can totally see just people going crazy over it. And yeah, I agree with you 100%. It is building the framework. When I showed my wife the spatial scenes feature last year when it came out, she literally, my wife is very hard to impress when it comes to technology. She's
yeah,
the opposite of me in that way, which is why I like to use her as my guinea pig. Like, oh, I'm
yeah,
really excited about this thing. What do you think? And she'll be like, eh, gimmick,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
But when I showed her spatial scenes, that was one of the things she was like, people would buy this just for that. And I was like, right? Oh, and I've seen people even take photos that they took from like their 70s childhood. Like I saw someone have a really pretty good picture of them opening up like the first Nintendo when they were a kid, and they converted that into a spatial scene,
wow,
and
that's
that
so
just made them
cool.
go exactly
That is so
like you
cool.
said, just reliving old pictures and just having the models able to do that. There's so much value there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, especially one day when the hardware shrinks, and it becomes lighter and all that stuff. That, like you're saying, it's all yeah, sounds good, sounds good.
and I never want to talk about these things. Like, I'm never trying to push people to buy the product. I want people to know about it because it is such a super niche thing that if you don't have someone like me, it's like it really reminds me when I was like back buying the Vive. No one should have bought the Vive if they were a gamer back then because you only had like 10 games and they weren't really games. They were more like tech demos. And it
Controllers.
was just yeah, exactly. And I feel the same way about Vision Pro, but it's there's value in having some people kind of showing off where that's going. Other features I'll just quickly go through. Um, oh yeah, I love the widgets feature. That's basically you just have any app can have its own set of widgets that you can just place permanently in your home and space. They introduced that last year, but they added more. And these ones are like tiny, so you can like have a bunch of them on your desk, like battery life. If you have notifications in a single app, like give you a bunch.
So hold on, so you can have your widgets in front of you. You've got your different desktops around, and then you
Yeah,
can have your
yeah,
widgets on your desk.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking wild.
Exactly. So like I'll have one that's like, oh, and they added like widgets so you can easily connect to your PC by just like clicking it. So like, and it'll always just be there next. I literally like positioned it right next to my little PC, so I just like tap it while looking at it, and it just opens up the where the screen I had it last and everything. A lot of little widgets like that, and
That's
widgets.
mental. That's like some sort of crazy Inception shit if you put it there as well. That's like a
It,
PC that isn't there, but it is for you.
yes, and that's why I like to do the headless PC because most people. I mean, I can have the space to do cool stuff on my blank wall that isn't blank when I put the headset on. I know I'm crazy, but it's just there's things I can
It's only
experiment with that
crazy
are
to
so
everyone
fun.
else on the outside who's watching you
Yeah,
doing this stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just staring at a wall like a freak with my headset
Can you
on
use
all
Steam
day.
VR with this now really easily?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to talk about that later. Because there's a whole thing with that as well, but it's not related. Well, we'll get to that later. Oh yeah, they also added this is not too big, but they added so whenever I would take a screenshot or video, it'd always be foveated. So like you would only see
Yeah.
clearly what I'm looking at. Now there's an actually option to do unfoveated 40K 30 FPS recordings from the headset by itself. Same with screenshots. So whenever I post data mine pictures, they'll no longer look kind of blurry. So I think some people will be happy just with that.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's the stuff where it gets very developery, but this is the stuff that shows me more than anything that Apple's not giving up on this platform because they're huge on the developer side. So there's a program called Reality Composer Pro, and it's basically like a light game engine that Apple built entirely just for Vision Pro and their API Reality Kit. Um, and they had a humongous update this year. In fact, it's such a big update that it's basically its own app. It used to be connected to all their other tools, the Xcode and all that stuff that you build iPhone, Mac, whatever. But the updates are so big this year. They also like they wanted to have people just develop entirely in this app, and it's basically like imagining if it basically it's like Apple just built Unity, but just for this headset, and they just has cloth simulation. I've seen people do like liquid simulation. Like they added so many features. They added like now you can actually make lights that affect your environment way better. So I saw someone as a developer example build a planetarium like a little planetarium projector that you can place in the middle of your floor, and then it'll make your entire room like have stars and planets that just rotate like as if you bought one of those little toy ones in your room. And that's just like a
That's
basic example.
insane. So, like, you could have the lights off, but it would look like the lights
Or
were.
even if the lights are on, it will make your lights look like they're off, and then they'll apply the little
That's
lighting.
so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of just there's way more things that they added in Reality Kit related to that, but that was a huge one that a lot of developers are extremely happy, and they've also added more what they call low level developer stuff. So like before, you're kind of limited on what you can do, but now they're basically opening up everything more, so developers can do quite a bit more than they could before when developing apps and immersive experiences and everything. Um, Oh, object tracking. This one's so crazy to me. So object tracking is like one of the coolest things I think that first came out with, I think Vision OS 2.0. But the idea is like, let's say I have a little toy, or I don't have a toy right here, or a puck or something. I'll just grab a lighthouse, and I can literally train with their developer tools an actual object tracking model. So like I can have the application I build track this with the cameras, and then I can place actual digital objects on it. So
So
when I
you
move
don't
the
put a QR code on it or anything. You can just it just knows that object is whatever object you're going to make it become.
exactly. And that did release with Vision OS 1.0 or 2.0, but it was super slow. I think it was like 5 hertz refresh rate, and it was kind of like mostly for stationary objects. They even admitted back then it was for stationary, but this year they've completely changed. It's like 30 hertz with smoothing. They're even saying like this is built for like handheld. Like if you want to build like a 3D print a sword right from your 3D printer, and you want to just like put that 3D print model in you can now track that and have it be designed to where it
Wow.
will. you can have flames off your real life sword or whatever. And this is all just free, like free tools that are available for people to do. And it gets even crazier. This is the one I could not believe when I saw it. Like this just did not feel like Apple to me when I saw this. But now people can design their own what they call spatial peripherals or spatial controllers that have full IR LEDs, full IMUs, full Bluetooth, and completely tap into the headset. So just like how they released the PSVR 2 controllers and the pen with Logitech, anyone can just make their own, and they have a whole API and a whole
What?
system to build your own controllers. I imagine one day we'll have some weirdo who buy the Steam Frame controllers and just completely hack the firmware to just work on Vision OS if Valve doesn't do it themselves or whatever. Like you can just do that, and I couldn't believe it. That's why it's crazy that like what it's crazy because we have a lot of camera system tracked headsets, but no company has wanted to open up that to that level to where any developer can just build like
Well, yeah, because
controllers or
you're
whatever.
throwing money off the table potentially, by
Yeah,
doing that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They always wanted to lock it down or have like dedicated partnerships. Like, it's true that Meta did partner with Logitech, for example, to make their own pen, but no one could just literally download a whole like developer kit on their computer and do it. Just do it, whatever. And they're not going to control which accessories people are making for it. So I could not I was blown away when I saw it. And it's full like I believe it's full 90 hertz, just like the PSVR 2 controllers, if you go that route with the IMU
Yeah.
and
That's amazing.
the IR LEDs. Yeah, others. I'll quickly go through other stuff. Immersive website environments. Basically, if you can have some of your websites have its own like VR environment that it's kind of like WebXR, but instead of it just being like it's quite different. It's like Reality XR or WebXR, but like it's an Apple tailored version designed to be more, I guess, higher fidelity. And I don't see too many people using that right away, but that's a thing. Godot is a pretty big engine. It's an open source engine. I see a lot more developers using more and more these days. Like for example, Slay the Spire 2 was built in Godot, so quite a big game. Apple has released a lot of plugins to support game and immersive and volumetric, like a lot of stuff using this engine.
Oh, because you can play like your flat screen games in 3D already, can't you? I think.
Some of them, yeah, you can do
Yeah.
some like weird AI conversion stuff. There's apps out there, but this is like literally the experiment I've actually been working on the past 2 days. I haven't gotten it working yet, but there's this free open source project made by Blender called Dog Walk, and it's like this super cool claymation styled thing. And I'm trying to port that to because it runs in Godot. I'm trying to port that to Vision OS, so this entire game will render in like a full volume, like a kind of like a tabletop thing.
Yeah.
That'll be on Twitter once I get that working, but you can just do stuff like that now, which is pretty cool. Oh, good. I think that's mostly it. One more. No, there's one more thing. That's right. This was the other thing that blew my mind. So obviously, when Apple updates, releases or announces updates for Vision OS, they're usually also doing announcements for Mac OS, iOS, all their platforms, and just like how you open on your Windows computer Explorer and there's like you click a photo and it opens like Windows Photo Viewer or whatever. On Mac OS, that is called Preview. And it's just, it's just open all your pictures, just see them quickly or whatever. They've updated Mac OS 27 so that now you can completely open a lot of, or a few 3D model files, which is already cool. But they took a step further because if you are using your headset at the same time, you can, with this new framework, you can stream that live view of the model to your headset. So if you rotate on your computer, the 3D model open in this preview app, that's again just built-in system, it will live rotate, live resize, live everything on your headset in the full 3D model on your headset. And the crazy thing about that is it's a framework. So right now it's on preview day one, but applications like Blender could just easily, like someone can fork Blender and just implement this framework. And then as you're like editing 3D models in Blender, you'll be able to just live see the live preview on your desk or resize or whatever. And also, you can also move stuff with your hands on the Vision Pro, and it'll update that model on the computer side as well. That kind of like integration stuff blows me away because the amount of like conversations that need to happen internally, be like, okay, hey, macOS team, you're at you're going to add 3D objects to preview, but also you got to support us by incorporating this whole streaming protocol and framework so that multiple applications can tap into like that is a huge undertaking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like this stuff's not going away anytime soon because they wouldn't even give a crap about
That
updating one of their major products.
that's the full circle point is what you're trying to make, is that, yeah, it's not going anywhere. They're fully invested by the sounds of it. And definitely with what you just said to me, like as someone who probably wouldn't use the majority of what you just said, um, the photo stuff for me is just like literally everyone takes photos and everyone want to see them in the best way possible. So yeah, completely, man.
It, it's just cool to see. Again, it's an expensive niche device, but they are building out all of their operating systems are trying to connect with it now, and they just keep building more features that go back and forth. And I don't know if you saw. Did you see the iPhone's reframe feature? I saw a lot of people talking about it. So the
No,
idea is you take a photo of something and then you can use AI, the AI, to like reframe it. So like, let's say you wanted to, you wish you took the picture from a different angle
right.
instead of straight flat on. You just go to the side. You can literally just move like move the digital camera. And then use AI to fill in the blanks, and it looks like you completely reframe the image, even though you took it maybe years ago or whatever.
Is
And
that
the reason
AI
why
though
that's
built into the device or is it off?
It I think this one's off. So this does connect to the cloud, but what the reason why I want to bring up that feature in particular, other than the fact that a lot of people seem to be very excited about it, is that was actually built on the foundation of spatial scenes that was built for Vision OS. It
Right.
uses the Gaussian splat stuff and everything. So that kind of back and forth and platform stuff is just like you can just really see how in the future all of these things are just building off of each other and benefiting each other, whether you're on a phone or on a headset. It's just awesome to see that kind of level of interest, I think.
I mean,
So yeah, I'm
I mean,
done.
no, it's fine. I was trying to think because people are still kind of excited for Meta's next headset, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
we haven't really discussed it. And the reason is I don't really know what to expect from it. What
Yeah.
do you think the device is going to be primarily for?
Um it's gonna be an Apple Vision Pro by Meta, but I guess more so it's more like a if you put well, Google, have you seen the Aura
No,
from the Android XR Google stuff? So Xreal, the company who makes those display glasses, they've been working together closely with Google to build like a higher field of view version of those display glasses, but can also the, run all the stuff that the Samsung Galaxy XR headset can do, but in that smaller form
how do
factor
you do
with it.
that? How do they do that?
So it's going to be tethered to a puck
Yeah.
on your pocket, not really in your pocket because it does need to have cooling, active cooling. But a lot of that is just like it will have cameras and all that stuff, but a lot of it will be powered by the puck, and then there will be a chip in the glasses that's like more of a coprocessor, similar to like the R1 in the Vision Pro. That instead the Vision Pro has both chips up here in the head, the M5 and the R1, but Xreal's doing a thing where it's basically like they have the R1 up here and the M5 or whatever down in their pocket with the battery and everything down
Right,
there as
right, right.
well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
My feeling is a lot of the stuff that there's going to be like even though they're increasing the field of view from what is currently provided from current Xreal stuff, my feeling is a lot of the applications that people want to do with these things are not going to be completely satisfied with that. But I still think there is value in devices like this Aura. And I think the Phoenix thing that Meta's releasing next year will be quite a bit similar to this, but maybe I would actually say I'm betting the hardware will actually be better than what Google is
Do you think it'd be
doing with
more like a
Xreal.
VR headset though still than maybe what X-Ray are making?
Um, I think it'll be a little bit further to a VR headset headset, but not too much more. I think it's also going to be trying to. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not. I wouldn't be shocked if they try to say these are AR glasses, even though they're
Yeah.
just VR optics and displays, and they just market it as AR glasses. I think that's what they're going to try to do. And I think a lot of people will be excited, and I'm excited for it. Not to the fact that I expect it will replace having a huge FOV headset doing all this stuff, even though it's going to be much lighter, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it'll make people think this XR stuff that Apple, Meta, Google are all investing all this money in to build this spatial platform, it will come down in size and weight and everything. And they'll be able to kind of see it better, visualize it better when they have these products out there. So
Mm.
I see value just from that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really interested in what they're doing next. I think you have to be, because I think regardless of whether you go the heavy tech side of what Apple are doing or the gaming side, eventually there's gonna be a convergence of both where there's gonna be a product that basically does it all. I would technically say Apple Vision Pro, like as you said, if it uses Steam VR, that's already a VR headset plus an XR headset, or an XR headset all in one. Um, yeah, yeah, it's all good, mate. It's always that's why I like these conversations because there is so much still happening in the space. It just seems, depending on what your crowd or what your community is based on, how it sounds and what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just like what we said at the beginning. It really is a great, like a reset. Like there
Yeah,
is just so many things that are different from a few years ago, what everyone thought VR was going, how VR was going to evolve, what devices were going to be, how it was going to become mainstream. But that's completely different now. A lot of those things that were built and created over the past few years will still exist. They're just kind of morphing into new form factors, new ideas, more
yeah.
expansion. Um, I don't know. I'm still quite optimistic for how things will go over the longer term. I
Nice.
don't think
Yes,
all
because your tweet, I believe, in 2023 was 10 years.
that was my feeling. Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
feeling.
So,
Yeah. So for what GT is saying is back in 2023, I kind of made a controversial post that I retweeted this week talking about how um I don't feel that a publicly traded company is going to be super confident about being a VR company or whatever, probably for another 10 years. And that was in 2023, right around when the Quest 3 launched and everything. Um, Back then, I was vilified for saying stuff like that. But now it's like kind of people are like, yeah, it's probably going to take a bit longer.
are
Call
you
of
still
Duty
playing?
2.
Are you still playing Deadlock?
Yeah, I am. It's
Yeah.
still probably the only game I spend the most time in.
My
But
son's he loves that game, Deadlock.
oh, he does. Yeah, yeah,
He
it's
plays it all
addicting.
the time. Yeah, yeah. Well, cool, man. It was lovely catching up with you.
Oh, I
Um,
do. Hey, we gotta talk about one more thing.
oh,
I
sorry.
think no, 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 no. Remember, you asked me about Steam VR. Like I've been playing.
Yep.
I want to talk about what I've been doing in that regard because I kind of said to you, I think last episode, maybe the one before, you were saying, mate, there's all these VR games, they're really
Did you
good.
say
All
mate?
this
Did
stuff.
you say I said mate?
Yeah.
Do it in a British accent, mate.
Oh, I don't want to do that. That'll be
No.
terrible. That was
Okay.
so mean. Uh,
What did I say? Say it again. Sorry. I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt.
you're trying to get me to do VR games and a lot of this stuff,
I was.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to wait maybe till Steam Frame. And frankly, a lot of the reason, one, obviously because Steam Frame is built for that, so I thought it was a good time to review it. But another thing is, yes, the Vision Pro technically can connect to your PC and do Steam VR, but it was not tailored for that, obviously, right?
Right,
It was
right.
never like the main thing it's used for. It's gotten better over the time. But recently, the thing that made me change my mind and want to kind of test more Steam VR on the headset is there was actually a compatibility layer built for. We were all talking about the foveated streaming stuff that Apple was building for companies to tap into NVIDIA's Cloud XR, and you could use that. But the problem was when it released, it was OpenXR only, and there was no way to run Steam VR because Steam VR can run OpenXR games, but SteamVR is not built on an OpenXR like
Yeah, yeah,
runtime.
yeah.
So if I wanted to play Half-Life Alyx, I just couldn't with that system, right? But Mbuchia, who it tends to make a lot of these like awesome compatibility layers in their free time, built one for Cloud XR. And it basically just allows me to tap in this phobia streaming and just run SteamVR practically natively streaming to the headset. And it made me want to test all this stuff. So I've been testing like some of the games I wanted to play in UEVR for a while, which by the way, UEVR is I know people have been doing it for a while, but UEVR is quite magical when you can
Yeah,
get it running right. Like that is pretty cool. Like especially I find third person titles like playing that with a controller in UEVR freaking awesome. Um
yeah. Have you
but
tried, when I first got into it, I was very lucky. I got like a preview event of UVR at this
oh
like
nice.
yeah, I had to drive to this snowy little town I'd never been to in this cold little hall, and I made a video on it. And I think back then, I don't think the 5090 was around. I think it was the 4090 was the big one. And yeah, we were just like playing all these games, and then he started teaching me, and it's very how to basically make a third person game into first person just by knowing what to do. And I made a video about it, and I can't fucking remember how to do it. And I did it, but I made Alien Fireteam into a first person shooter myself. Made my own
That's
profile.
awesome. That's
Um,
awesome.
it is awesome because you get to see that camera shift. Do you know what I mean? Like you've literally changed genre of game. But yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. Like, so what's been your favorite UEVR game so far then?
I've been playing so I've been wanting to play this is actually pretty relevant because we were talking about Xbox and all the announcements. They announced Persona 6 is
You've been playing
coming.
Halo, have you? You've been playing Halo.
I've not been playing Halo
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. I don't know if no, you might
But
don't know if you can do it. There is a Halo mod, but I don't think you can do Halo. But yeah, go on.
I don't want the next talking about the Xbox stuff, I'm actually excited for some of the stuff they announced too, even though I'm like not super gaming. That I was very skeptical about the Halo 1 remake for a
Yeah, same,
while.
same.
Yeah, because I was like, how can you remake this and make it like, I don't know, new, interesting enough to rebuy
Because
the
it means
game
a lot to
for
you. Because it means a lot to you. You're like, don't screw this up. Yeah,
exactly. That's yeah. And I was like, how could they do it? But actually, a lot of stuff I've been seeing, I was like, okay, I'm actually quite interested. And then I saw the third person skull you can activate. I'm like, okay, this game runs on UE. I can do this with UE VR in third person mode and completely play Halo in a different way
yeah.
in my headset that I've never done before. That is actually insane. So I am quite excited for that one. But I've been playing Persona 3 Reload, which is it was like it came out a couple years ago, but
Dude,
it's
I know
basically
all
a
about
remake.
Persona. My son loves
Yeah,
Persona
yeah.
as
I
well.
I love Persona, dude. That's like one of the when I played Persona 4, probably back when I was like 17 or 18, I was like that was the first game that made me cry because it was over. I was like, "No, I don't want it to be over." I was actually tears coming down, but
I'll ask him
yeah.
because have they just remade? They remake them, don't they? Have they just announced another remake? I think or something. I don't
It
know. He was
yeah,
excited
the
about
one that
Persona
made
again.
yeah, the one they remade or the one that made me cry, they're remaking it, and releasing it next
That's
year, but they
probably what he
also
was
announced
excited about.
yeah, and they're also announcing the next mainline game. Or at least they teased it, which I think is cool because it seems to be like this sort of occult type like ghosts and haunted house type theme. I'm I'm pretty big fan of that stuff as like I don't believe in it, but I think it's like really fun. All that stuff. So like having a whole Persona game kind of built around that theme is exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah, there were actually games like I was just hearing like, oh crap, that's
Gears of War,
awesome.
man. Gears of War E-Day. I'm fucking buzzing for that as well.
Yeah,
And on Nintendo, the Starwing remake. Oh, the demo is just so good. So yeah, I've applied for a review key for that from Nintendo UK. So I
that's
might have
awesome.
to, man. It just means so much to me, like
Yeah, yeah.
those games. Halo especially was like a system seller for me. I bought the Xbox and I was like, damn, this is amazing.
Yeah, I have a Halo 3 Xbox 360 right here. It means a lot to me. So I'm with you
Nice.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You never got the Red Ring of Death with that thing?
Not this one I bought like later on. I never actually played on it. I just wanted it because it was one of those things that I saw as a kid. My parents would not buy for me. So like, years later I'm like,
I'm an adult.
I want it. I just want it. Yeah, exactly. So I just bought it and just put it there as a shelf ornament. But I did
Cool.
have Red Ring of Death with twice with my Xboxes during my childhood.
Yeah, I
So
remember friends coming around and going, "Dude, can you do the towel trick?" And we used to do the towel trick, which actually
yeah, I
worked.
remember
Do you remember
that.
the towel trick? It's
Yeah,
you
I
had to
wrap it with like a soggy, almost soggy
you
towel or
bake it. You
whatever.
basically bake the Xbox, and it
Yeah,
resolders or some shit. Apparently, I don't know. But,
so crazy.
it is crazy. Yeah, the Red Ring of Death.
It's crazy they survived such like a
Well,
man.
it cost them a
Can you?
fortune, didn't it? It cost them fucking
Yeah,
millions.
yeah. If it wasn't Microsoft, it probably would have bankrupted like almost any other company. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. There's a whole story about that on YouTube about the Red Ring of Death, and it's really interesting if anyone's into that. Yeah, man. Are we done? Are you happy?
I think so. Um, I guess to kind of close on the whole UE VR and like that's why there's like some excitement around the way Valve is doing things because when this thing launches, it's probably gonna be the most open operating system and platform out there that will be like I don't want to say mass consumer, but sold in a reasonably high volume.
Yeah,
And just seeing like kind of what people are gonna do with that, kind of like in the kind of like in the life of what UE VR has done and some of those other things, I think we'll see a lot of cool stuff related to that that will keep the hobbyist VR gamer kind of going for a bit. So
yeah. I don't
yeah,
think the Steam machine's going to be capable of UEVR though, to be honest,
no way, no.
because that
UE
is
VR is
yeah,
it does take a lot to run it.
it
Yeah,
does. I feel really bad for some people because obviously they watch a YouTube video and they're like, "Oh, sure, I'm just going to plug this in and have a go," and they're met with disastrous, you know what I mean, output. But yeah, DLSS has been a saver of many games.
like let's be honest, this podcast is the most niche podcast that can exist. Like truthfully, and to get thousands of viewers that come weekly to watch it,
What do
that's
you
really
mean? What do you
special.
mean niche? That would you mean because it's VR or XR? Would you like?
Not even just the like, okay, well, VR is already a niche, XR is already a niche, but having people talk about 2 nerds on totally different spectrums, like, we're not scripted at all, either, pretty much, like,
Yeah,
we just talk about this crap, like, and people like it. It's
yeah,
like, that staying power is really special, and I don't know. I'm always very grateful that, like, we have like, the hobbyists out there are just awesome. I don't know. I'm
yeah.
very happy
It's a
that
strong community,
people
man, and
yeah.
they're the sort of people who will watch this. It's the people who are really deep into this and they feel just the same as us. Um, yeah, dude, I can't. I mean, YouTube has its ups and downs for sure, you know, and I hate that side of it because if you look at the numbers, it can affect your passion. But being
Mhm.
British, even if I get a good video, it doesn't make me happy. It's really weird. It's like a lose lose. Do you know what I mean? Like a video does well, I'm like, what's next? I never actually sit there and go, yeah, well done, mate. You know, it never happens. Um, but yeah, like things like this podcast. That was the idea we started it, wasn't it? It was the reason because we kind of thought there's nothing else out there like it. Whenever I talk to people about what I do and what I'm interested in, they kind of don't believe me because I'm like a gym bro. Do you know what I mean? But
Right.
I'm not. I just like lifting weights. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
I've lost loads of weight now, which is really good. I'm trying to technically from Christmas to now, I've lost 7 kilos. Um, this is insane, dude. Like I've never been. I haven't weighed this. I'm at 98.8 today, and I haven't weighed that in over a decade. So trying to get there, trying to push myself in every way, trying to grow, man,
That's very good.
trying to
That's very
grow.
good.
But anyway, thumbs up again. Second one.
Yeah, sorry.
Good chatting
We're
to you,
good now.
man. No, it's great. I love talking to you, dude. Honestly, it's always a highlight. You know, it's kind of a refresher for me. Um, yeah, thank you. All right, bye everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.